Hello, hello. So this will be, I think, my third National Scrapbook Day video. There's 4 total. Anyway, this is for YouTube Hop with the girls over at the Crafty Channel Surf, which is a Facebook group. And if you don't know that Facebook group, come join us. We are so much fun. So what I'm doing here is I'm just showing you kind of my product, the kits I'm going to be using, what I'm going to be playing with today. This is for a wedding album that I've started, and I actually ended up kind of running out of product a little bit, so I decided, I did a little shopping, and I discovered this Webster's Pages Love Story collection, and I loved it, so I went ahead and bought it, and I only have a couple more layouts to do, but I decided that, you know what, I liked it enough to buy the whole thing and go ahead and use it for some other pages too. So I'm just going to flip through it here quick, kind of familiarize myself with what's in it and how I want to use it. And I'm going to start with this cut file. So this is a cut file that came with the click kits for April, and you can buy them you can buy it in the shop. I've already created one layout with this cut file that I cut. This is the second layout, and I'm actually going to show you how you can get 3 layouts out of one cut file from your silhouette. So the first layout I did earlier this month, and there is a process video for it. It would be under my playlist scrapbooking process videos, and the title of the layout was Moments Captured, and there you can see that was when I cut the original cut file and took the pieces out. So now I'm taking the inside parts of the cut file and I'm inking it up with some Close to My Heart Whisper ink and a little sponge, and I'm just going to go ahead and go through the whole cut file. I have all of the men in this wedding wore shades of gray, so I have gray in my photos and I have gray in other parts of my pictures, so I knew that the Whisper ink would be a really good match for the products and what I wanted to do with this layout. So now you can see here we're going to use that gray piece as our piece we're going to use today, but I've also created another background to use for later. So that one cut file is going to end up giving me 3 scrapbook pages. I love cut files that I can do that with. They're kind of my favorites. So now I'm trying to decide what colors I want to use, and I was inspired by that love. So that Webster's Pages card right there, part of the cut apart sheet, that is gray and brown and woody and says love. I really wanted to play off those colors, those grays and those browns, and then have just a little pop of that pinky corally color. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure this stuck. It stuck pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and stick down my cut file, and then I'm going to cut all the way around the edges, and I left just a little bit of an edge around and inked it up. So my background's going to change a couple of times here. I'm going to start by thinking that I want to use this diagonal striped paper as my background, just because I loved it. Oh, it's so pretty, and I'm so excited because I have 3 of these sets. I also want to point out that paper pad I got from Webster's Pages. It is the only place I was able to find it. I bought it from Blue Moon Scrapbooking. I haven't seen it anywhere else, but it is good. Like, there's 3 sheets of each design. The designs are double-sided, and they're super like nice heavyweight cardstock. So if you're interested in that, the place I would say to check for it is Blue Moon Scrapbooking online. So here's my second background idea. I decided that I just wanted to kind of go with the white. I struggled so much with the background. I wanted it to be, you know, weddingy and pretty, but also a little light. But I wanted the pinks and the grays and that crafty brown color. And so this is attempt number 2 at a background. This is lace paper from Amy Tangerine's Oh Happy Life collection, and I really love it. And I've had it forever, and I thought about cutting it up, but I really liked it whole and plain and lacy and pretty. So I'm not super happy with this background, but I'm going to leave it the way it is, and I'm going to cut apart this square sheet. So what I did was I cut the cut apart sheet in strips, and some pieces I'm going to go ahead and leave square, but then other pieces I'm going to use my circle punch, and I'm going to punch out some of the shapes. So I have some circles and some squares that I can kind of create a couple of different clusters with. And then I'm also going to cut apart that part that kind of inspired my idea for my layout, and I want to use that as my title. So I'm just trying to decide what I think about this background. I'm going to start to kind of put some of my stuff on top, because sometimes when a background looks too busy or not, like you're not loving it, if you just keep working with it, you kind of stumble across something that you really like. So that's how I'm going to go from here. I'm just going to add little pieces and look at different things. Also want to mention that below you will find the lineup for the YouTube Hop today, so you don't get lost, and you be sure to go ahead and hop along to everyone's channel. If you've never been to my channel before, I would love for you to subscribe and leave a comment below and say hi. I have lots of videos. I do a couple a week. I also am on the design teams for Paper House Productions, Wild Whisper Designs, and Spiegel Mom Scraps. So if any of those products are products you're interested in looking at or using, any Shimmers products, you would probably enjoy my videos quite a bit. So now here I am just still fidgeting, and this is what I end up with, because, you know, kind of my motto, if all else fails, just go with white. More neutrals. That's my scrapbooking motto. If things look too busy, just keep adding more white, right? Okay. So this is what we're gonna go with. So I put that lacy paper from Amy Tangerine. I attached it to some white cardstock, added my cut file, and I'm adding staples and using this Love Is My Title because my sister's wedding was in a barn. Oh, well, the reception was in a barn. It was on a farm. It had that shabby chic kind of look to it. And yes, I was drinking coffee. I was on a scrapbook mission to get this layout done. So I got myself some coffee, and I went through the fact that it was a little bit later and it was really time for me to kind of like be done. But I did it. Yay! So now I'm going to just go ahead and embellish. So while I'm not creating I am kind of creating a coordinated album. These die cuts are from Pretty Little Studios Woodland collection, and I have been using some of that collection on every one of these wedding layouts to give them a cohesive kind of feel. So I wanted to make sure that I included one or two of these die cuts. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit, so that when you're kind of looking through the album, the pages, while they don't have to match exactly, they coordinate and kind of have that little running theme through them. So I decided on this little chipmunk and this flower because it's so cute. And now this is a label sticker from that Webster's Pages sticker book, and I really, really wanted to use this label sticker because the wording on it just matches perfectly, describes my family, all my brothers and sisters and I really wanted to include it. And so I do find a place for it, and while I'm there, I'm going to kind of look through these other little sticker phrases and pieces and parts and kind of see if there's anything else, and that's the one that I decide on. So I love sparkly things. I love it. I love sparkly things. I love last little pieces of embellishment. And so now I'm going to take just a quick look at all of my stickers and try to decide if there's any other last minute things that I want to use. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of a heart sticker, and then I'm going to go and look for some sequins because I love sequins. I love all things sparkly. I am going to throw sequins. Literally, I throw sequins on my page. So I just threw a bunch on the top right hand corner there. And wherever they landed, that's where I'm going to glue them down. And then I'm going to place just 2 or 3 sprinkled around each of my embellishment clusters. And then I, off camera, glued them down because I don't make anyone watch me glue things down. It takes forever. And that will complete our layout. So be sure to hop along with everyone else today and have a great National Scrapbook Day. Bye!